Good evening. New allegations are swirling around U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who is accused of misleading President Trump about the war against Iran and attempting to sidestep congressional authority to continue military operations. These revelations come as tensions in the Middle East remain critically high. During a hearing at the United States Capitol on Thursday, a high-ranking Democrat, identified as Reid, leveled serious accusations against Secretary Hegseth. Reid asserted that Hegseth failed to provide President Trump with an accurate depiction of the conflict with Iran, instead resorting to what he termed dangerously exaggerated statements. The Democrat highlighted the ongoing power of the uncompromising regime in Iran, its continued possession of enriched uranium, and a functional nuclear program, directly contradicting Hegseth's alleged optimistic assessments. Reid expressed deep concern that Hegseth may have been telling President Trump what he wants to hear instead of what he needs to hear. The Democrat further elaborated on a pattern of concerning rhetoric from Hegseth, pointing to statements like, "There should be no stupid rules of engagement," made just days after hundreds of Iranian schoolgirls were tragically killed in a missile attack. Even more alarmingly, Hegseth reportedly made unsettling remarks about showing no mercy and no pardon to Iranians, directives that, if acted upon, could constitute war crimes. Meanwhile, Secretary Hegseth appears determined to continue the war against Iran without formal congressional approval, aiming to circumvent a crucial 60-day deadline. According to the War Powers Resolution of 1973, military deployments without congressional consent are limited to a maximum of 60 days. After this period, formal parliamentary approval is required to prevent the United States from being drawn into lengthy, unauthorized conflicts. As this 60-day period approached its end, Hegseth revealed his strategy to extend the operations. Appearing before a Senate committee, he claimed, "We are currently in a ceasefire which, according to our understanding, means that the 60-day period is paused or stops." However, the War Powers Resolution contains no provision for pausing this deadline during a ceasefire, suggesting Hegseth is attempting a novel interpretation of the law. In recent weeks, Democratic lawmakers have made repeated attempts to halt the military engagement against Iran. While these efforts have largely been blocked by Republicans, a crack appeared in the Republican United Front on Thursday. Conservative Senator Susan Collins from Maine broke ranks, voting with Democrats to end the conflict. This marked the first time a Republican senator shifted their stance on the United States military operation in the Middle East. Although the vote ultimately failed, this shift could signal growing resistance for President Trump within Congress regarding the conflict, potentially explaining Hegseth's efforts to keep the decision about continuing the war out of congressional hands. Under the existing law, President Trump would theoretically be compelled to gradually withdraw United States troops after the 60-day period, including naval forces and ships currently maintaining the United States blockade of Iranian ports, even amidst the claimed ceasefire. The exact expiration of this critical deadline remains somewhat ambiguous. President Trump informed the Parliament on March 2nd, following the war's commencement on February 28th. Depending on the calculation, the 60-day limit could end anywhere from the night of April 30th to May 1st, or the night of May 1st to May 2nd local time. Each instance would be 6 a.m. in Germany. Adding to the gravity of the situation, Iranian media reported that Tehran's air defense systems were activated on Thursday evening. Simultaneously, an insider revealed that leading United States military officials, including Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane, and the head of United States Central Command, Admiral Brad Cooper, briefed President Trump on further military options against Iran at a White House meeting held on Thursday evening. What's your take on Hegseth Under Fire accused of exaggeration and war trick? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.